Hello, Byron Center community. My name is Scott Joseph, and I'm the principal of the high school. It's my privilege today to come before you with some really important and exciting information. As a community, it's so important that we understand where our schools are heading, and so I want to talk to you about a 2-year journey that we've been on as we dive deeper into being a school that helps our students to keep up with the growing demands of our world. But in order to understand why we need to change the way we are doing business, I need to challenge your thinking first. I want you to think about a bathroom of a newly constructed house and what it will look like in 10 years. What will it have in it? Really think about that. Maybe heated toilet seats, heated towel racks, television built into the mirror, air dryers in the shower, maybe a self-cleaning shower. Here's the point. Much of that technology already exists today. We struggle with coming up with anything new. Now answer this. What do our kids need to know in 10 years to be successful in their career? Do they need to know the different types of insects or the definition of a derivative? Maybe. But we know for sure that they need to know how to learn. They need to know how to think, how to problem solve, and how to apply what they know no matter what they do. The world has been changing, but over the years, education has struggled to keep up with the ongoing demands and increase in knowledge. Did you know that information in our world is now doubling every 18 to 24 months? With that rate of knowledge growth, it is impossible for our students to keep up with the growing demands of what they are expected to know. This is why the United States has begun to change its curriculum from a what we teach approach to how students learn and think. The new Common Core standards that have been adopted by almost every state in the U.S. focus more on depth of understanding, application, synthesis, evaluation, and creation rather than just knowledge. There is a new state assessment that our current freshmen will take when they're in 11th grade that will assess our students on their ability to reason, apply knowledge, collaborate, and create. The old days of memorizing information and taking a test are diminishing quickly and should, based on the educational research and how we learn. When students analyze and create, they truly learn. Look at a young child playing with Legos, building a fort, creating art, or older students composing music, producing a movie, or even creating a wind turbine or electric car. All of this pushes the relevance and understanding of learning, but not without a strong foundation of literacy, which is part of every course. How do we have students create on a regular basis, collaborate with classmates, analyze and apply what they know? This is when we begin to think differently. In order for us to move forward in this change, we need to give students the tools they need to be successful in this new world, and we need all students to have the same access to these tools. Some students have their own laptops to use every day, but the vast majority do not. Instead, we have come to a time where we can level the playing field and allow all students access to deeper, more relevant, and engaging learning. So I want to propose to you our thinking of how we attack this new future. Byron Center Public Schools would like to put a MacBook Air computer into the hands of each student in grades 7 through 12. Notice this is not teacher technology, but student technology. It's not about what the teachers are doing. It's about what the students are doing. This is where we need to put our financial resources. This shift alone will help our students to be more hands-on, to be the creator of content instead of the reader of content. At this time, you probably have a million questions. How are we going to afford this? Why not iPads? Those are hot in schools right now, and they're cheaper. Why a Mac, not a PC? Those are cheaper. I want to bring you back to that 2-year journey in just a few short minutes to answer those questions. First, let me answer the question of why a MacBook and not a PC. In our 2-year journey, we saw successful one-to-one programs run by Apple. They have poured millions of dollars into educational research, and they have discovered how to use technology to increase student learning. Apple developed their software around this concept of student learning first. It is fully integrative creative software where students can focus on the creativity of learning instead of how to use the technology. They build their machines to have solid-state hard drives and no moving internal parts. Even power cords are magnetic so that if tripped on, they release. Their batteries last all day, and the machines are lightweight and compact. I'll get into cost in just a moment. Second, let me answer the question of why I'm proposing the MacBook Air instead of an iPad. When we looked at the functionality of the iPad, it was useful for about 70% of what we needed. We discussed the need for keyboards in some situations, specialty software, processing speed, etc., and found that they were very useful, but we still would need computers to fully implement the creative learning process. Remember, this isn't about technology, but rather learning. We discussed having computer labs in addition to iPads and looked at different ways to make these work. We visited schools that have rolled out these devices and learned a lot from them. We calculated the cost and found that the latest iPad with cover and warranty is about $600 per student. These machines are rated for 3 years, so it would cost us about $200 per machine per year. Now keep that number in your head. The MacBook Air does everything we need and eliminates the need for most of our computer labs. It's also easier to monitor and to take care of. We can purchase these with warranties for approximately $800. This computer can be used for 4 years and is still worth a minimum of $200, or even 5 years with no value at the end. Did you do the math? That's less than $170 per year per machine. Now you may be thinking, how can we afford $170 per student per year for this technology? Here are the facts. We are currently spending that, but now we are simply shifting the costs. Let me explain. If we were to update our current computers every 4 years, we would be spending over $100 per year per student. Doing that, students share computers, still need to print, teachers still need to make copies, and we cannot get efficient nor paperless, and we would still need to have full paper copies of textbooks. If we go to the proposed plan, students can receive paperless information, have interactive textbooks, and we can go 80% paperless, which saves us money. Here's what we currently spend. $28 per student per year goes toward copy machine lease and maintenance agreements. $31 per student per year goes to hard copy textbooks. And $16 per student per year goes to paper, toner, and staples. Based on information from other schools that have gone to a one-to-one plan, we should see a reduction of more than 80% in our copies, paper, supplies, and a 50% savings in our textbooks in the next 3 years. That is a $50 per student per year savings. Add that to the $100 for student computers, and we are operating at $150 per year per student. We are only looking at a $20 per year per student, or 0.2% increase, to have a computer in the hands of every student grades 7 through 12. Why? Because it's more efficient. We are simply changing how we do business. Are you getting excited yet? We're talking about every student having a computer where they can create, collaborate, connect in order to expand their individual skills and knowledge with minimal cost. We can meet students' needs with their unique learning style while daily checking for understanding so that our students won't fall behind. So how do we get started? First, with a huge thank you. Thank you, Byron Center, for supporting the bond that will now allow us to initially fund this movement. So how does this work? In grades 7 through 12, we would like to begin rolling out student devices in January. High school students could take this device home with parent permission and use it all year long. The school would have control over software and apps installed, and the device would still remain filtered. After 2 years of research, I believe that placing this tool in the hands of each student grades 7 through 12 is a necessary step to prepare them for their future. Thank you so much for your continued support as we work together to provide the best educational opportunities for the students at BC.